Alright, Sunday fun day, guys. Starting off with some announcements. Again, the next week's schedule is up on the board here. Monday, so tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. got that class. Tuesday 5:45, Wednesday 4:30, and the Friday 11:45. Basically same schedule. And that express class with Laurier at 1 p.m. on that Tuesday slot at 1 p.m. there. So make sure you guys sign up for that ahead of time. For the express class, you'll find the link and the ID for the class on our website. So make sure you find that if you're interested in that express class. Second thought, guys, we still miss you, so let us know how everything's going. We want to keep in touch. We're slowly thinking about getting opened up, like how the phases are coming out. So let us know how everything's going, and we can keep in touch with you. Last thing, guys, we're halfway point in that nutrition challenge. So we had that introduced 2 weeks ago. We're halfway right now. So let us know how that's going based on what the diets you're doing, what plans you're doing, what kind of results you guys are getting. And if you guys have questions, ask the man, he's right here. But email him, let him know. They'll help you guys out. And 2 weeks in, guys, 2 more weeks to go until the end of that challenge. I'm gonna pass it over to Chris for the workout.
Okay guys, the workout today is a Tabata. It's 16 minutes in total. So in case you've never done a Tabata before, you work for 20 seconds and then you rest for 10 seconds. So the movements for today, we got 4 different movements. So you're gonna do 20 seconds of work on the deadlift, rest 10 seconds, 20 seconds of hang power cleans, rest 10, 20 of front squats, rest 10, 20 shoulder to overhead seconds, and then rest 10 seconds. You're gonna go through that all for 16 minutes, which is 4 rounds. Is that, I got the math right there? Yes. Okay. So the first movement on the board, guys, deadlift. All the movements on the board here, we don't want to go heavy on. So when you're doing a Tabata, the goal here is to just kind of keep moving at, call it an 8 out of 10 intensity, something around there. Maybe the last round you can ramp it up a little bit, but you want to be keeping that intensity pretty high, so we do not want a heavy weight. So you're going to be continuously moving. You shouldn't be breaking up any of the movements here. You should be able to do them continuously. The rules of Tabata are your worst round is what your score counts towards. So for example, let's say in the first round you do 10 deadlifts, and then in the second round you do 9, third round you do 8, and then the rest of the workout you just stay at 8. Your score for the deadlift would be 8 because that was your worst round. So it plays a little bit of those mind tricks on you too, because you don't want to go too hard out the gates, but you don't want to go too easy out the gates either, because that might be your worst round if you go too slow. So you don't really want to hold back too much. Normally in a Tabata, what we see is the numbers usually like slowly degrade a little bit. That means you probably did it right. We'll be going over a demo of all of these movements in our video shortly. So I'll pass it to Yash for the afterburner.
Alright guys, so to finish off, 2 minutes of that lower back stretch there. After those deadlifts and those front squats, you're gonna probably feel a little bit, not tight, or you're gonna wanna open them up a little bit and get them strengthened and ready for the next week. And then we're gonna finish off with that pancake stretch. So the squats will probably get you in, especially in the adductors, so we want to stretch that out there. Also, we're getting a good back stretching in that position. So most of these stretches help you get ready for the next week. We'll give you guys more details on the warm-up next.
Okay guys, for our warm-up today, we are starting off with some alternating Deadbug leg and arm raises. So we're doing this for a minute, and we're gonna do 2 rounds of this. So we're gonna start off on our backs here in that Deadbug. So head and neck relaxed, arms are gonna be up in the air, and then I'm gonna bring my feet up. I'm gonna try to keep my legs straight if I can, arms straight, and then I'm gonna alternate. As my right leg goes down, my left arm goes overhead. Never go too low where you start to overarch that back. You want that low back pressed into the floor the whole time. So we're again just switching from one side to the other. Notice how I'm doing this slow in control. I always find controlling this movement to be more beneficial, especially since we're just warming up that core. You're going to do that for a minute, take a little break, and then you're going to go for another minute. After you're done that, you're going to go for 3 rounds, starting off with some bent over rows. There is a little adjustment in the normal bent over row because we're doing this from the deadlift position. So normally when we do bent over rows, we would have our object and we keep our legs relatively straight, maybe not fully locked out, but we keep them relatively straight. From here, we actually want to be in the deadlift position. So my shoulders are going to be just a little bit ahead of the object, my shins are going to be straight in the air, and of course my back is going to be flat. Notice how my head and neck is neutral, so I'm not looking straight, I'm looking in a neutral position, lengthening the top of my head, the crown of my head all the way down to the bottom of my spine. And I'm just going to squeeze those shoulder blades, pull my object in, and then back down. We're going for a set of 10 of those. Of course, I'm keeping my elbows tucked in tight to my body, and I'm trying to engage those upper back muscles at the top by squeezing them together. Once we're done that, we're going to go for 8 tempo deadlifts. So for our tempo today, we don't actually have a time that we want you counting it out. We just want you guys going slow on the way down. So we're getting to that bottom of that deadlift position, head and neck neutral, push with the heels, open the hip. We're going to squeeze that butt, rib cage is down, and then on the way down, nice and slow, we're going to hinge at that hip, pushing it back. When your hands get about to knee position, we're going to lower the rest of that movement with the legs. So remember, we're not just lifting with the legs, but we're lowering with the legs. You can stand up at a normal speed, go a little quicker. On the way down, we're really slowing it down. Once you're done 8 of those, you're going to go for 6 hang muscle cleans per arm. So in the hang muscle clean, we're going to start off by standing with our dumbbell. We're going to push that hip back just like we did in the deadlift, but this time I am looking straight. My back and chest is a little bit taller. I'm going to think of squeezing my butt, driving my elbow up, and then catching my dumbbell on the shoulder. So again, hips go back, push my elbow up, catch it on the shoulder. Notice I'm not catching it in a dip position for now. We're just warming up with the muscle clean. You can do all 6 on one side, or you can alternate if you like. We're doing 3 rounds of that. We'll see you for the workout next.
Alright, so we're here for the movement standards for the workout here, guys. So we're going to pick off where we last ended off, which was the hang power muscle clean. So we're going to do now some hang power cleans. So only difference here, we're going to think about catching in that power position. Same rules apply with the barbell. So we're going to come down, hang position, just above that knee height there. From here, drive up, elbow low in that catch. Notice it's not going to catch you with my hips bent, my knees bent. Make sure the hips are back, and I'm not leading with the hips when I'm catching. I want to get those hips back so I can get myself nice and loaded. Once you're done, stand it up, then you can bring it back down and switch and go to the opposite side. After the hang power cleans, guys, we're going for those front squats. So we're in that front rack position every time after a clean there. Elbow nice and tall. As we're coming down, guys, think about keeping those knees in line with the big toes. Don't let those knees kind of cave in. Drive those thighs out so they're nice and in line with the big toes. And then as you're pushing through the floor, think about pushing through that toe, heel, midfoot, the full foot, even distribution the entire time. Also, you can think about pushing through that heel. It's a little bit easier to cue yourself to stay on the heels. Once you're done with those front squats, guys, staying in that front rack position, going for those shoulder to overhead. So shoulder overhead, you guys can go push press, you guys can go push jerk. If you want to get a little fancy, you guys can go for split jerks too if you want. But let's focus on the movement that will keep us moving the entire time with good intensity. So I would recommend push press, push jerk here. With those push presses, guys, make sure driving hard through the leg and then continuing that motion overhead. For the push jerk, guys, we're trying to catch it in a little bit of a dip before we fully stand it up and reload for the next rep. If you're not comfortable with the push jerk, let's go push press instead for the workout. Again, remember, we're doing all the movements in order. Deadlift, 4 rounds of that, or the Tabata for that, then we're going into the hang power clean, then front squat, and then the last 4 minutes will be the shoulder to overhead. Hope you guys enjoy the workout. See you guys next for the afterburner.
Yes, hopefully you guys hit those 5 rounds. Let's cool off now with some mobility. First stretch, going for 2 minutes, and So you're just holding it in the stretch, guys. For this stretch, again, it's the low back that you're trying to emphasize. So you are gonna round your back. You're gonna start by being in the seated position. Bring your heels together. Depending on your flexibility, see if you can get your arms underneath it. But if your flexibility is a little bit tight, you can grab your toes, pull yourself slightly forward. If you start noticing that you're kind of comfortable in this position, slide your arms underneath your shins. Where now you're placing your elbows to the floor, bringing you that much lower. Notice how my back is rounded. To get into this stretch, you want to really just kind of decompress and let everything go. So breathe through it, guys, and just relax your body. Okay, so as you're in this position, you want to be relaxed to let all that tissue in your back just really slowly open it up. If you find that it's hard to breathe, back it off a little bit. Okay, now you're going to create tension. You're not going to really get a good stretch. Okay, so go as low as you're comfortable. If you have better flexibility than me, you really want to get lower and lower and lower, guys, to the floor, where you're almost even tucking your belly button in to get your QL of so the low back muscle. When you're done the 2 minutes there, then you're gonna go 2 minutes in the pancake stretch. You don't need a post, but you can use a post if you have something at home, or you can grab a door jam where you kind of reach in to one side. You want to kick out your feet as wide as you can. Play around with your position of your toes. Sometimes I'll stretch it with my toes going forward. Sometimes I'll pull my toes in. They adjust the stretch just slightly different, okay? So first I'm going to start with toes in. I'm going to grab that post. I'm going to pull myself in. This one's going to round your back a little bit as well, but your emphasis is on your groin, so your inner thighs. You're pulling yourself in. If you're not getting much of your inner thighs, maybe bring your toes back or forward, kind of play around with the position of your foot. Or last, like I mentioned, you can point your toes where when I point my toes, I'm able to get a little bit deeper of a stretch. Okay, so play around with it, emphasize your groin. You're gonna hold that for 2 minutes to cool off today, guys. We'll see you tomorrow for the next workout.